Okay, second update for us, a very important one. We will be joined by Pastor Mullery Jean-Pierre of the Baraka Baptist Church in Brooklyn. And Rabbi Bob, can you please do introductions and fill us in about this wonderful pastor?
Well, that's you just did the greatest introduction. A wonderful pastor. Pastor Mullery Jean-Pierre is a friend. We first met right after the 2010 earthquake. Pastor Mullery was a member of our Haitian Leadership Fellowship back then, and we have remained friends and connected over the years, to the point where the pastor and his congregation have been to Israel. Well, pastor went with Michael and Noam and myself, and then his congregation has been back a number of times, as has the pastor, and I've had the absolute honor to have traveled with them and been part of the various different pilgrimages that they have made throughout the Holy Land. However, this is about what has recently happened in Haiti, the earthquake, and one of the immediate responses by the community that the JCRC helped to participate in was with the Bridge. It is a multicultural organization located in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Collection of many, many medical items, actually pallets and pallets of medical items, and then reaching out to the pastor and his church, Baraka Baptist Church, to participate as a partner in this process. When we did reach out, we found out that the pastor was going to travel with members of his church and his incredible, his wife, Conchetta, to Haiti in the next week. And we are about to hear about that journey. Just to give you a little update on the medical items, through a connection with Mark Wolf, and I wish Mark well as well. We were able to contact AFIA, that has done incredible work of shipping items, very needed items to disaster zones all across the world. And just last Friday, pallet after pallet of valuable medical items that were donated by an anonymous Hasidic donor were shipped out to Haiti. So we're just so pleased about that. But going back to how Cheryl described the pastor, he's a wonderful person. He's an amazing person, but most of all cares about his community and is a man of God. We're going to turn this over to the amazing and dear friend, dear friend, Pastor Mullery Jean-Pierre. Pastor Mullery.
Thank you. Am I muted? Am I on?
You are on.
Oh, okay, great. Listen, I want to wish everyone a happy new year, and let it be a blessed, prosperous new year for each and every one of you in your endeavors. As Rabbi Bob Kaplan said, after the 2010 earthquake, I was part of the fellowship with the Haitian leaders. And I thank God for that moment, because it has helped us solidify our mission in the community. Prior to that, we were doing work in the community, but the training that I received with the fellows just, brought it another notch, and we were able to take off from there and not only engage the people in the community, but the elected officials. And prior to that, we were not doing that. So thank you so much, Rabbi Miller, Bob Kaplan, and Noam, for the support you've given us. In 2017, I experienced a dream of a lifetime by going to the Promised Land, to Israel. And let me tell you, I read the Bible just about all my life because my father was a pastor. I grew up in a Christian home. And so we always read the Bible. But to be in the Promised Land changed everything. It changed how I read the Bible, how I understood the Bible. And we had one of the greatest tour guides, Zev. He was wonderful. And since then, I've been back 5 times. We brought close to 300 people back. That's friends and family and church members back to Israel. In December 2019, believe it or not, I brought about 18 to 20 pastors there from several churches, large churches, small churches. And the following month, January 2020, I was back in Israel again. I fell in love with the country and I continued to go back. 2020, we were supposed to go in around the winter or something like that, but that didn't work out. So we're looking to go next year. This year didn't work out actually. When we go there, I have what we started was our late night show. There's the Jimmy Kimmel and all those guys. So it's the Bob Kaplan show. And after we've done all the touring throughout the day, we have a session called Ask the Rabbi. And that has become a great hit, not only with the members that I bring there, but also the pastors who went and they experienced, Israel from a different perspective. And again, because of COVID, many of them were planning to go back, but things changed. But I believe that my congregation, I can speak for directly, has fell in love with Israel. The light and the love of the Jewish people, their traditions, the culture, and the history has really added value to our lives. And I remember also, since we've had the fellows, Rabbi Kaplan and also Rabbi Miller visited our church. And that Sunday was a unique Sunday because we also had a Korean church there that was doing a presentation of the Passover, Easter. And the members were blown away. We felt truly connected internationally to have the rabbis there, and also the Korean church there. One of the top leaders were there, and it was really, really wonderful. And since then, our relationship grew with Noam and Rabbi Kaplan and Rabbi Michael Miller. We spent time in his home in Israel with his grandchildren and his children, and so that was wonderful. Since then, Rabbi Kaplan and Noam, we talked about having another fellows where clergy can come together and learn more about the Jewish people, and also they can learn more about us. We've had a couple of glitches in starting it, but nonetheless, it's in our heart to do it. And I guess as the pandemic curtails a little bit, we'll be able to get that up and running. So all that says to show you how much we love the Jewish people. When there's a rally or something that in the nature of anti-Semitism, we're there. We stand with our Jewish brothers and sisters. We march with them. We stand in solidarity with them, and it has opened a doorway or pathway in our church and in the churches that went to Israel that allows us to connect on a deeper level. And we are able to speak on behalf of our Jewish brothers and sisters, whether it's in their presence or not in their presence. We're so grateful to God for that. So after the 2010 earthquake, we were already in Haiti, but I had what you would call like a Nehemiah moment, being a diaspora, knowing that all my family members are here. And just as Nehemiah, when he heard about the gates have been burned, the walls have been torn down, something happened to me. Though I knew I could leave it up to someone else to take care of that, but there was a burning desire in my heart to go back and do something. And since 2010, I've been to Haiti helping over 100 times. I burnt 2 passports going back and forth. And since the earthquake, we have 4 offices in Haiti. But when I went back for the first time, the Lord laid on my heart that where it's the darkest, that's where he'll shine the brightest. And at that time, the darkest place was the epicenter of the first earthquake in 2010. And we found the Man of Peace in Leogan, and that's where we planted our first office. And from there, the Lord allowed us to do some, I can't even begin to tell you what God has done for us since we went into Haiti. We just got recognized as a 501c3 NGO in Haiti. So all our papers are intact. We've been doing disaster work for the last 10 years, from the earthquake, Hurricane Sandy. In fact, we got hit by Hurricane Sandy twice, once in Haiti and once in New York. the second time in New York, because we almost got caught out there. Hurricane Matthews, we've done work there. And so what we've experienced is God using BCDC and Baraka Community Development Corporation to go deeper into the communities and help those who are hurting. And we are so grateful that we got to train over 2,000 pastors. Up until last week, our network has grown now to over 5,000 churches. So we work with pastors and network leaders in training them for transparency, integrity, and how to serve the community. And we've implemented the Rick Warren Peace Plan, where it addresses the 5 major problems of every underdeveloped country. The first one is spiritual darkness. Man is disconnected from God. And so, as you know, when people are not connected, they become so depraved that they only think about themselves and whatever they can get for themselves. So we address that, connecting them back to God. We equip servant leaders. We plant churches. We create jobs. So far, we've created over 2,000 jobs through our microloan program and our motorcycle taxi program. We also distribute food. We teach teachers how to teach better for their schools. And so all this work that we've done has garnered some recognition from the United Nations. I received in 2019, the United Nations and the European Union gave us an award for the work that we're doing in Haiti. Also, we've done some work in Estonia, similar work. The Congress has given us a congressional record back in 2016. And so also the International Humanitarian Outreach Ministry gave us an award back in 2014. So that's the type of work we've been doing. And recently when we went back to Haiti, I came back Friday. Yeah, this Friday. We went with our assembly person, Jamie Williams. And she's been partnering with us and helping us to raise funds and raise resources to take back to the country of Haiti and help the people that are hurting under this last earthquake. Now, the largest area of our church networks are in the affected area, in the Lakai area, in the Jeremy area. We have 2 offices there. So what we've been doing, we've been sending funds down there because they still are able to purchase food. And we don't want to bombard them with too much food and water because it's going to affect the local economy. And we want to be able to help preserve the local economy. So we ask the people to send money instead, and our office processes it. And through the network of churches we have, they become our distribution center. They're able to get it to the remote places that are affected the most. The difference between this earthquake and the 2010 earthquake, the 2010 earthquake was more concentrated in the Port-au-Prince area, whereas this one is spread out more into the remote areas where it's hard to get to. In fact, some of the people we met on this last trip, they have not recovered from Hurricane Matthews. The tops that they received back then is shredded. It's in existence, for lack of a better term. So we have the capacity to reach those remote areas. And that's what we went to do in our last trip. And I don't know if the video's working now. You can probably show that, no?
I know I'm not perfect. I'm filled with so much flaws. I'm not always the closest. Sometimes my heart is far from you, but you still take my hand and you tell me that you love me. You love me, yeah. And I don't understand till my tears hit the ground, and I open my eyes in mercy. I promise not to break your heart anymore, 'cause I know who you are, and I want you to know you'll never have to press restart. No, since you changed my heart from ugly to beautiful. I don't always know what to say. Sometimes it's just too much, and I don't always pray like I should. Sometimes I act too tough, but when I hear your name, I can't simply resist. I fall to my knees and surrender. You grind and mold my heart from stone to marshmallow, and then you hold me close till I'm tender. I promise not to break your heart anymore, 'cause I know who you are, and I want you to know you'll never have to press restart, no Lord. Since you changed my heart from ugly to beautiful, and I want you to know, I want you to know, I want you to know, I'll never ever let you go, and I won't go to.
This last trip was very moving for me. As you see, that's one of the places where we've used several times to do leadership training and development. And just to see it lie in ruins like that was very hard. So as we met with the leaders, we asked them what their needs were. You can hear it on CNN, you can hear other organizations, but when you go there and talk to the people, they tell you that they need the pods, they need the tents, they need long-term, we need to dig wells for them. You dig wells in different communities, the water issue goes away. You could treat the water with purification tablets or purification. And Israel knows how to do water treatment very, very well. So that's one area I know for sure. We talked about building earthquake-proof homes. We saw a couple of samples from local people who understand how to do earthquake-proof home, believe it or not. The United Nations gave us some samples that we can look at, because it's a shame that every year we have to go through the same thing, whether it's the hurricanes, now 10 years apart, earthquakes, you don't know when the next one's going to hit and where it's going to hit, because we're sitting right on the fault lines. So we got to do better. And the diaspora community is saying we must do better for our people. And we know that if we get the right partners, the right help, we can build earthquake and hurricane-proof homes. In Taiwan, when there's an earthquake, everyone runs into the homes as opposed to running out of the homes, because they have built earthquake-proof home very, very well. So that's where we are right now. And I just want to thank you for the privilege and opportunity of allowing me to share this moment with you. I turn it back over to Rabbi Kaplan.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mullery. And our prayers are certainly with all those affected by the earthquake and those who have been affected by all the various disasters. It seems to be an unending cycle that's hitting Haiti. However, with folks like yourselves and Baraka Baptist Church and the kind of network that you've built up, and thank you for acknowledging the impact of the fellowship in 2010. It was really intended to do exactly what you said. Allow folks to understand what their roles need to be as leaders, and you have stepped up in a way that is just unimaginable. And by the way, I really do enjoy Ask the Rabbi. He does have me come up. I sit in front of the entire congregation and they ask me any question they want to ask me. It's been an incredible life-altering experience for me. So thank you so much. And if anyone has any questions for Pastor Mullery or is looking to help, the Baraka Baptist Church has a network, as he's mentioned, of over 5,000 clergy and churches throughout the affected area that can bring services and resources directly to those affected. So thank you very much for being with us.
So Bob, if we do have questions or comments, we can direct them directly to
Yes.
you and you'll get back to us as to
Absolutely.
what we can do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you,
Um,
Pastor.